Good day, America! Red Ho coming back at you one more time. This is the last one for the year. It is now 2025. It is December. So what I decided to do is I'm going to do somewhat of a mashup of all the episodes that I've had over the last year. This will mark the 1 year anniversary. Obviously, I started in January of this year. So I got a few little sound bites from the previous episodes. They're all going to be pretty much um, sound only because the editing and that kind of stuff is still kind of fuzzy without paying a shit ton of money. So the first one I'm going to put out to you is basically how I got the name Red Ho, and I will play that for you now. So just bear with me. Alright, so for starters, let's go ahead and explain how I got the nickname Red Ho. Alright, now for the people who know me, they know my name is Rich. That is short for Richard, a name, not a status. And some people call me Richie, some people call me Richard, some even call me Herbie, but that's for a totally different reason, which is my middle name for the most part. And the last name, of course, is O'Leary, starts with an O, if you get my meaning. Now, I was also in the military for 6.5 years. Go Army, beat Navy. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so I had to write my name a lot. Sign your life away. Sign here, sign there, blah blah blah. Well, it got to the point where I was just putting scribbles. Well, I would scribble my name, and one of my old platoon sergeants, he was looking at all these signatures and that kind of stuff, and he kind of looked up. He said, "Who the fuck is Red Ho?" And it really stuck because everybody in the platoon just started busting up laughing. I mean, it was great. So it just kind of stuck, and I figured, you know what, let's just go with it. So that's how I got the nickname Red Ho. That's usually how a lot of nicknames go. So it's actually very very funny, and to this day, my old army buddies do call me that. So yeah. So then the next mesh up here. If you hadn't paid attention to the earlier ones, I had an episode that was, Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and that was only on Spotify. So this one basically is about a cross-dressing. Don't take that the wrong way. I do not cross-dress for just because. But pay attention because it's actually funny. Alright, so for starters, let's go ahead and explain how I got the nickname Red Ho. Guess I messed up again. Whoopsie whoopsies. So let's try this again. On, on the time that I actually dressed like a woman. So, the first one I wanted to bring to your attention is while I was in the service, it was either right before or right after I met my now wife. We've been married for 23 years this month. Happy anniversary, baby. Don't marry a German, by the way. It'll just suck the life right out of you. I'm just kidding. I love you, babe. So, the first time I did this, the Germans have what is called Fasching. It is basically the same as Carnival or Mardi Gras here in the States. And, they have costume contests and that kind of stuff. Well, we had a lot of fun with that. And what I decided I wanted to do is I wanted to dress in one of my wife's mini skirts. She also had like a halter top type of thing. Put some balloons in there and make sure it looked like I had some nice pretty titties. And then I also had this green hair. I do have a picture without hair, but I'll probably post that on the Facebook page, which is a Good Day America Facebook page. And believe it or not, they had a costume contest, and I won that contest dressing like a dang woman. It was crazy. But what was also really crazy is the seating arrangements that was there was not regular seats, kind of like what you see here. They had like benches and tables, and I was trying like crazy to get the end part of the table because I was wearing a miniskirt. But alas, I had to sit there towards the middle. So you can imagine, trying to get in there without showing off your junk. Now, I did have some underwear on, so you ladies and gentlemen don't think that for a second I'm, crazy by not wearing that kind of stuff. Feast of days. It is probably one of the dumbest things I could have possibly done. Alright, so that was that. I didn't shut it off quick enough, so, I'm kind of spitballing as I go here. But, yeah, I did cross-dressing for several other reasons. If you want to, you can go to Spotify and you can actually listen to the whole episodes. This was the early pretext before I went over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. And I'm also now on TikTok. So if you want to, you can like and subscribe from there as well. Alright, so now the next thing that I have on here was one of the things that I've done while drunk as hell. And yeah, just listen and find out. This thing is funny as heck. On the times that I've actually dressed like a woman. Why does this thing keep messing up on me? I'll never know. On the times that I've actually... Okay, I guess not. Here we go. Try this. One of the dumbest things I could have possibly done while drunk. And, there you go. For people who live in the local area that we live in, there is a Lutheran Layman's League softball team. They play softball on Fridays nights or Sunday nights. And this was a Friday night. Or maybe it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday, as a matter of fact. Because we were at a certain ball field. Well, good food, good camaraderie, lots of fun, actually pretty competitive for the most part. Well, after the game, I'm old enough to drink. This is when I was in my 20s. My cousins and I, we started drinking. Next thing you know, we're drinking. And I didn't realize how late it was getting. And oh boy, I still had to go home. And so I hop in my truck, stupid, and I get in the vehicle, start up, I'm driving home. Now my wife, who was at home, she wasn't with me, was getting worried. This is also before the cell phone became a real big deal. And so she came out to look for me. She knew where I was at the time. All right, so now the road that I was on to get home was very, very windy. We're talking, pretty big turns. And by the time I got to the first turn, I realized, uh-oh, I am really too fucking drunk to drive. So I slowed down naturally, and I'm, trying to make my way back home. Obviously, I'm passing cars here and there, didn't hit anybody. Thank you, God, for that. But my wife passed me, and she turned around and was following me. And sure enough, she had told me that I was all over the road. So I must have been just drunk enough where I couldn't really say straight line. So she followed me all the way home. Didn't get pulled over, thank you God. And I get home, and she just starts in on me like, I can't believe you did that, and blah, 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 etc., etc. She had every right to chew my ass out for that, because that was one of the stupidest things I have ever done in my entire life, drunk. It's that crazy. Hey. Alright, so yeah, again, I've done some stupid stuff other than that as well, and again, you can go to Spotify and you can listen to all the ones that I actually mentioned already. And anybody who out there who knows me, who's seen me in predicaments that were really messed up and crazy and that kind of stuff, just hit me up and maybe I can remember it and say it on the dang next year's podcast. So, alright, so now this next one is also a drunk mishaps and that kind of stuff. It was post-Bosnia. You'll hear all about that part. So, yeah, just listen in. It is another hilarious scenario. Decided to allow us 2 weeks of furlough. We could fly home and visit our family if we wanted to. Do whatever we want. World is our oyster. Well, I stayed home. I stayed back in Germany. I didn't go home or anything like that, along with a lot of other guys. Well, some of these guys had German girlfriends, and these German girlfriends, they decided they wanted to have a party with all the army buddies. So during this 2 weeks of furlough,
Uh, One, actually, we were in their basement. We're, drinking, having a good time. I had about 6 beers before we even got there. And then, of course, I started mixing in the whole rum and coke. Don't ever mix the alcohols. It'll kill you. Or not. It'll definitely mess you up pretty bad. So I was actually so drunk that uh, I was getting ready to go upstairs to go pass out and that kind of stuff. And I go upstairs and they had this one open room and they had nothing but like blankets laid out for all the people if they want to. So we're sleeping on the floor. And I decided, I'm ready to go to bed now. So I run up the stairs and I jump and bam! Face planted right on the floor. 2 seconds later, I was passed the heck out. It was crazy. Now, mind you, these are the stories that they told me while when I woke up the next morning. So I think that was pretty cool. Now, another house party that they had was probably about a week later.
Love German house
Scenario was
parties.
about the same. We were, playing a drinking game in the basement, and I'd already had 6 beers prior, so we were playing this drinking game, and so I took a shot of E&J, also known as Erkin Jerk. Some people believe it that way. It's kind of a brandy, I believe, and tastes terrible. I'm not a brandy fan.
Correct me if
Well,
I'm
anyway,
wrong on
so
that.
I got super, super sick, and I wear glasses, and I knew I was throwing up because I was like ralphing all over the toilet, and by that time, I was already, uh, we had already put somebody else who was super, super drunk in the bed and laid him down so that way he could pass out. Well, the craziest part about it, and mind you, I have no idea what all happened except for after the fact. But the next morning I woke up, I was in that same bed that they put this other guy in. That guy's already gone, so I have no clue where he's at. And I also woke up with no pants on.
Easter
I'm
eggs.
like, oh my God, what in the world? So of course I'm in underwear and a t-shirt or shorts, and I'm going around this unknown German house, and I'm looking around, looking for my pants, can't find my pants. I'm like, where in the heck is that thing at? So then of course the German girl, the girlfriend of one of my buddies, uh, she comes downstairs and she is like, hi. I said, hi. Can you tell me where my pants are at? She's like, oh yeah, I washed them for you. You did what? I said, yeah, you threw up all over yourself. It's actually sitting outside. I'm like, oh boy. so, so I actually
This
had to
is
go
in October.
outside and grab my dang pants and then put my pants on and that kind of stuff. But I'm like, oh. And then of course after that, I'm looking for my glasses. I can't find my glasses. I'm like, where in the heck are my glasses? I'm searching everywhere, and I'm kind of a blind as a bat type of guy, so I couldn't see all that well to begin with. And yeah, sure enough, after about 5 or 10 minutes of looking, I found them. They were right next to the toilet where I was throwing up, had barf all over it. I was like, oh goodness gracious, I was really tore up. Yeah, so yeah. So I actually had to wash my glasses off and make sure that they were clean and I could see again, and it was very wild to tell you the truth.
So now, after telling you those stories, I do have another one, and it kind of involves my birthday as well, which not my recent birthday. This is like still when I was in Germany, and well after that particular incident. But my birthday comes around. I'm already in my new duty station back over in Germany, and a buddy of mine was just like, you know what? Let's go down to your old post. Get a hold of your old army buddies that are still stationed over there, and we can go hang out there and then go to a club afterwards. No problem. So we go to the club, and we go down that way, and it's probably a 2.5 hour drive. So it's a ways. We get down there, buddy was like, hey, man, what's going on? I got a birthday present for you. It is a bottle of apple corn. Now, apple corn is kind of like a corn whiskey made, like I, I don't know exactly what type of alcohol it is, but it's alcohol. And it's in a jar, it's in a bottle. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool, let's go ahead and start drinking it and that kind of stuff. Well, we were drinking it through a straw. Drinking it through a straw is a very, very, very bad idea. Because next thing you know, that thing is dang near empty. About 5 minutes before we get to the club, we all have to go to the bathroom. Now, in Germany, as long as your back is facing the public, you can practically pee anywhere you want. So I'm sitting there, I get out of the car and I'm stumbling over to the spot for me to go to the bathroom, and I'm going to the bathroom and puking at the same time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was that kind of fucking crazy. I'm just very glad I had brothers and sisters of the armed forces to have my back and not let me try to do more stupid shit. So I wanted to bring that up before we moved on to our next segment, uh, which is, of course, the craziest stuff that I've done as a child. If you watched all of the other episodes, you can binge watch them or binge listen if you want to. But this one in particular is the one that I decided to come up with in this mashup. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so the next topic we're going to talk about, stupid stuff that I've done as a kid, is I was raised in the country. Grandma was actually my babysitter most of the time in my formative years. Whenever we had summer school or summertime,
Oh, Grandma.
or even before I actually started school, we'd go over to Grandma's house and she'd babysit while the parents worked. That was kind of the thing back then, and it really wasn't a bad thing. I loved my grandmother. But one of the things that always came to mind
Love you, oh my Lily.
was we would be outside, we'd play, we climb the trees. She had this huge oak tree in the backyard, and we always climb on that tree.
Lots
she
of
would
fun.
give us old tin cans, or not tin cans, but like food cans, old food cans, and we'd start digging in the dirt. We'd have this big old hole. We always pretend like we were digging to China. It was just all crazy.
Sorry, guys.
In the midst of all of that, she would always have a treat for us in the afternoons. And one time, it was actually ice cream that she decided that she wanted to
Ice cream,
give us for a nice treat for the hot summer day. And so we're all running inside. We're all getting the ice cream. It's an ice cream cone. It's vanilla ice cream, that kind of stuff. Well, mind you, we've been digging in the dirt all day. So I get my ice cream cone. I start going outside, and I look down to eat my ice cream cone. And I see all these dots on the top of the ice cream cone. I said, "Oh, cool, chocolate sprinkles." And I just start eating away at this thing. And my sister, my brother, and a couple of my cousins, they're like, "Oh, I didn't get any chocolate sprinkles." Well, turns out those chocolate sprinkles were the dirt that was in my hair that fell onto the ice cream when I leaned forward. Oh yeah, oh yes. This is the kind of stuff that I did that was very, very stupid.
Yeah, so that episode I actually had a friend of mine, G-Top, he was with me on that episode. He kind of moved on to other places to do other things, bigger, better things. He's a young kid, so obviously he can, he's still got a whole life ahead of him. This was just sort of an in-betweener type of thing. But we had a lot of fun. Honestly, we really had a lot of fun. Now, this next episode, I kid you not, it's explained a little bit in the soundbite itself, but it is one particular incident where I couldn't help but feel stupid after the fact, more like gullible, something along those lines. It was pretty bad. Just listen, it's bad.
The next thing I want to bring up to you, the main purpose of this episode of the show, is I wanted to talk about the things that I've done in the Army. I'm not referring to, the drunk stuff that I used to do, the wild, crazy, off-the-wall kind of stuff. I'm talking about things like, like I told you before, I spent some time in Bosnia, and we did do hazing, and I've already mentioned that when I got promoted to doing the hazing and that kind of stuff. Well, this, one thing that was brought to my attention, and I was actually able to remember what happened. Mind you, young guy, 19, we had a lieutenant that would tell me to go get a box of wristwears. I don't remember if I mentioned this on one of the previous episodes or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. Yeah, he sent me to go get a box of grid squares. Now, anybody knows what a grid square is. It is actually a square grid on a map. You had a big old map, you have each grid square. So if you were trying to find Tokyo, Japan.
I don't know why I picked Tokyo, Japan on that. It's just off the top of my head.
Tokyo is that it would have a letter or a number coinciding so that way you knew which grid Tokyo, Japan was in. I don't know why I brought Tokyo in, but I've never been there. But, and without hesitation, I just simply started going from motor pool to motor pool, and there were probably like 7 of them, asking for a box of grid squares.
They all went with
it. I was walking everywhere too, so I was like, wore out. It was hot. And finally, the last guy looked at me and he was like, "Do you even know what a grid square is?" And I said, "Yeah, it's on a map." And it was, oh, duh. So, of course, I'm doing the walk of shame back to the motor pool where we originally came from, and the lieutenant's just laughing his head off. Everybody else around him practically on the floor laughing. And of course, I'm like, okay, new guy, busted. Almost everybody gets busted at one point in time.
Yes, so, yeah, that was an interesting conundrum to say the least. But the plus side of all of that, most people, especially in the military, if they're not really messing with you with things like that, usually don't like you. So that was more of a welcome to the family type of hazing, and quite honestly, I was duped, so I was being very stupid. But it was still a lot of fun. It was very funny. Bosnia, even though it was hotter than snot, hot. No, I'm just kidding. Even though it was really, really hot, we did our job. We did our job well. I learned so much just being down there because, like I said, I was fresh out of school, boot camp, the whole nine, and these guys they knew how to teach people to do the job that was intended for. So kudos to those guys. I love you, brothers and sisters. And so now this next bite is basically me trying to do an imitation. Some of you may have seen it, some of you may not. Maybe you forgot. I don't know, but we're going to do it again anyway. So this one is actually if Carl from Sling Blade was Mother Nature. And just listen and follow along.
Are from Missouri. Missouri likes to be very, very unpredictable in their weather. I
don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
Cooler weather myself, and of course we're in August, so it's like it's hot. It's damn hot, real hot. It's so hot it'll burn your face off as soon as you come out of the house. It's so hot and it's moist and it's so wet. Not the kind that you have with your woman. It's just real damn hot, and your balls are sweating, and you got sweat going down your ass crack, and you might actually see a little bit of ass juice coming down your pants leg because it's so hot. Now, if you can imagine that Mother Nature was here in the last 8 months, if you can imagine Mother Nature being like Carl from Sling Blade, Christmas is over. I think I'm going to take a nap. Well, I'm going to take a nap here. And sure enough, Carl wakes up and he's like, "Oh shit, it's already January. Boom, we're going to give it an ice storm." Okay, well, so now the people of Missouri, they have to run around and pick up all this brush and all that crazy noise and that kind of stuff. And Carl decides he's going to go take a nap again. And March time comes around. Next thing you know, I forgot it's already in the spring. Let's go ahead and have a tornado there. And then of course here comes Mater. Woo-hoo! I'm having a tornado in the trailer park. And then of course the city has to go take care of that as well. So now we got the extreme hot, real hot, damn hot. All right, so Mother Nature is very fun to say the least, especially when you work for a municipality, because obviously we have water things and we have possible sewer issues, street issues. Um,
Yeah, so that this past year, and that was kind of summed up the whole um, temperature in the state of Missouri pretty much throughout the year, and I just like doing the whole sling blade thing because it's just funny. I mean, I also did the KORN news early on. Didn't know what kind of response I was getting to that, but maybe I could try to mix that back in, especially now that I'm on YouTube, so like and subscribe, and on TikTok, like and subscribe. And please share all this, especially this one, because this one, it kind of gives everybody the general idea of what I'm actually trying to do to all this stuff. So just, you know, please like, subscribe, share, yeah, and it'll be all kinds of fun. All right, so now this next bit is from September. It's basically a commemorative thing from 9/11 of 2001. So just listen in and listen good.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I did mention in the Facebook page, if you don't know what it is, it's Good Day America Facebook page. I'm trying to get people to say where they were at during the whole 9/11 terrorist attack. And of course I said I was going to say where I was at. Well, at the time, I was in the service. I was stationed overseas in Germany. And believe it or not, with the time difference, it was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And, well, let's just say I was underneath the truck, and somebody comes out to me and tells everybody, really, hey, we have to have a formation immediately. The Twin Towers have been hit. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so what the F is the Twin Towers? No freaking clue what the Twin Towers were. So we, of course, we all go up to our formation spot that we normally go. Our first sergeant, he says, yes, so we have had a plane crash into a Twin Towers, and so as of right now, we're at ThreatCon Charlie. Now, ThreatCon Charlie is probably the second to worst that you can possibly get. So he said, we'll give you some more information as it comes along, just sit tight, and we'll figure out what we're going to do next. By that time, the phone started ringing. So he runs inside real quick, and we're all sitting around like, what the heck's going on? Well, he comes out maybe 5 minutes later. He puts us all back into formation and says, okay, so it turns out that the Twin Tower being hit by planes was not an accident. It was actually an act of terrorism. We are now at ThreatCon Delta, which is the absolute worst that you could possibly do. Posts all over Europe, everywhere in the United States, all over the world were completely shut down, locking the gates, and they had to have a group of individuals that were trained on security. And of course, I didn't want to necessarily do security. It was already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I wouldn't say I was tired because I was a young boy still, but 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I just kind of didn't raise my hand. And my platoon sergeant said, "Hey, you had that tree. You go out there. You do that too." Well, okay, I guess I was voluntold, huh?
I'm told.
So so we stayed up all night long. The post is not really that big, but we did have our a security detail going around the entire fence line, and we basically just checked to make sure there was no common or uncommon breaks in the fence line. So that way we knew 100% that post was secure. Now
that, my friends, was interesting because, like my father before me and his father before him, they experienced what it was like to, go and deploy and to have a threat on America. For instance, World War II being the Pearl Harbor setup, and then of course in Vietnam, it wasn't us personally, but nevertheless, it was still sort of a threat, of course, as history goes on. So this was, other than Bosnia, which was more of a stabilization force type of thing, and I don't want to tear it down too much because it's still a respectable situation. But in this particular case, um, 9/11 hits me kind of hard because it was time to go for our time to do what we were trying to do. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do that because they were just kind of scrambling around, going here and there. But um, nevertheless, it was still um, a bit of a shock. Wasn't sure how long all of that was going to last. So let's just keep it at that. Now this next one is one of my funniest things. It's just a sound bite, but if you want, you can always watch that episode. This episode is from October, and yeah, if you go on to YouTube and watch it, you can go on to I'm pretty sure TikTok was on that too. So yeah, just listen to the soundbite and you can go from there. I'll get your attention.
Of the year, absolutely love it. It is the greatest. Now, one thing that I like to do is find these kind of scary costumes and that kind of stuff and see what we can figure out. I may have to work that day, so I might not be able to actually do a scary costume. But I do have one that would be kind of funny. Now, if anybody's ever watched the Goonies, everybody knows Chunk. Ever watched the Goonies, you know Chunk. Now, if you see this shirt right here, it says, "Do the Truffle Shuffle." Well, guess what I'm going to do for you, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. Come on. Do it. Come on. Do it. Ah.
I'm not gonna do it this time. Just sing.
Alright, now that I got y'all's attention.
That's right. I did the Truffle Shuffle on YouTube, and it was nuts. I got a lot of laughs out of it. I mean, that's the whole purpose of what I'm doing here. Is I try to be a funny guy, and I try to say stupid stuff and make people laugh. So there you go. There you be. Now, this last bit that I got for you, before I sign off here, it is basically, to put it in simple terms, it was from last month, and last month, of course, was Thanksgiving, and it was also my birthday. So I had a little sound bite for my birthday and that kind of stuff. So just listen and enjoy.
Hey. Yay! So I am turning older, obviously. Not sure I want to mention how old I am, but if you could just take a look at my face and see, what do you think? Leave a comment. Just tell me how old I am. If you say that I'm younger, of course I'm going to say, bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
If you think that I'm older, it's like, well, F you too. No, not really. But, and of course, family members who actually know how old I am are about to be.
Shut the F up.
Keep your mouth shut, please. No, just messing with you. Just messing with you. Go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, comments. I want to hear the feedback, baby. Oh, yeah. So I do have another little sound bit. I thought it was actually kind of funny myself, and it does, of course, involve my birthday. So just listen up and let's see if you can recognize this as well.
And of course, I fuck it up again.
All the way through.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh.
Laugh at me, baby. Laugh at me.
Yeah. Alright, we'll change it up.
Hold on, we got to pause this bowl. Okay, so let's try this again. I am going to play another little bitty stick deal for you. It's regarding birthdays, so just bear with me and listen. You're gonna love this.
So that's basically all the sound bites from this year. There were a couple of them, far few in between, a couple of intermittent ones similar to this one. It's not just like a once a month deal. I'm actually thinking about doing more than once a month. You know, every 2 weeks, maybe even a little bit more. The more people that view this, the better off it is. And so before I signed off for the year, please like, subscribe, share, either on YouTube, on TikTok. If you have it on the Good Day America Facebook page, please like that as well. And please enjoy the rest of your 2025. Have a safe and blessed 2026, and I'll see you next year, America.